Some breaking news here. Moments ago, AOC filed articles of impeachment against two Supreme Court justices, Clarence Thomas and Samuel Alito. The articles against Clarence Thomas include failure to disclose financial income, gifts and reimbursements, property interests, liabilities and transactions, among other information, refusal to recuse from matters concerning his spouse's legal interest in cases before the court, refusal to recuse from matters involving his spouse's financial interest in cases before the court. And the second impeachment resolution includes the following impeachment articles against Justice Alito: refusal to recuse from cases in which he had a personal bias or prejudice concerning a party in cases before the court, failure to disclose financial income, gifts and reimbursements, property interests, liabilities and transactions, among other information. Now, to be clear, these articles are not the result of a decision handed down by the court, since that's clearly not an impeachable offense, even if it does show overt corruption. They are the result of the justice's conduct around the office. Here's MSNBC's Ryan Noble explaining that point.
These articles of impeachment are not based in any of the decisions that either of these two justices have made, but instead specifically about their conduct around the office. For instance, in both Thomas and Alito's case, she is accusing them of not properly disclosing financial benefits and gifts that they were given by donors and others, and in some cases people that had business before the court or even had a vested interest, a political interest, in some of the issues before the court. And she's also doing that in the case of Clarence Thomas, saying that he refused to recuse himself from certain cases that his spouse had a vested interest in as well. His wife, Ginny Thomas, of course, was very much involved in the Stop the Steal effort, the efforts to overturn the 2020 election and things along those lines. Also, she is accusing Justice Alito as well of refusing to recuse himself from certain cases of which he may have a conflict of interest. So these are very specific accusations that Ocasio-Cortez is leveling against these two Supreme Court justices. It comes at a time where Democrats are getting increasingly frustrated about the direction of the court, obviously the decisions that this court has rendered over the past couple of months, but also the conduct of these Supreme Court justices and the lack of oversight that they apparently seem to have without any kind of specific code of ethics that they must follow.
Now, I do need to say that this motion will not pass the House, which of course has a slim Republican majority. But that is not a reason not to exercise what power you do have to draw attention to a serious issue. And the issue of these conservative justices abusing their positions absolutely warrants attention. Remember, House Republicans have spent the last 16 months investigating Joe Biden for quite literally nothing. There is zero evidence of any crime. And what evidence they have brought forward has blown up in their faces, including a 1023 form that was filled out by someone who would ultimately turn out to be a peddler of Russian disinformation who would be indicted by the FBI for lying. And yet still, for more than a year, Republicans have perpetuated the narrative that Joe Biden is corrupt by virtue of these hearings that they've held, and in doing so, they have convinced a whole half of the country that he's done something wrong, even though, again, there doesn't exist a shred of evidence to actually back up their claims. But that is how using one's